I was asked to do a self-massage for whiplash. Any of you who have had whiplash probably know that it tends to become chronic. It just doesn't seem to go away. The symptoms persist. You get neck spasms, maybe headaches, stiffness. So we're going to do some self-massage today to begin to alleviate those symptoms and see if we can't overcome the chronic nature of whiplash. So we're going to begin with those little muscles right underneath the base of the skull, the suboccipital muscles. They tend to get short, especially when our head is thrown back and forth, and sort of pull the neck into extension. You're going to find the bony ridge of the skull. So the bottom, you'll feel the skull nice and hard, and then right underneath, you'll feel it a little softer. You could be up against that ridge. You can kind of feel how it starts, right? Go on either sides of the spine. So it's sort of right on the hairline there. Either sides of the spine, under that bony ridge, you'll take 4 fingers and press gently in and up, almost like you want to scoop up underneath the skull, underneath that ridge of the skull. Of course you won't, but that's the intention. And it might be pretty tender, so go easy. We don't want any pain. This might be kind of surprising. It might be referring some forehead pain, some headaches. They do tend to refer lots of symptoms all around, so just go easy. It should feel like a nice release, maybe a little bit intense, maybe a little bit sore, but it should also feel good and very tolerable. So if you have trouble sort of getting under there, go ahead and extend your head back a little bit, and that will slacken the tissue and allow you to get up and under. And just breathe wherever you are. If it feels good, if it feels tender, just hold it and breathe. In through the nose, out through the nose, seeing if you can relax that area even more with each exhale. Try to keep those arms relaxed, those shoulders down. I know it's tough, but that's important. If you want to add a little active movement, you can very slowly begin to bring your chin forward just a little bit, small movement here, and start to bring it up towards the ceiling, just a little bit, maybe an inch each way, if that much. Flexion and extension. Again, if it's too intense, just back off. You don't have to do the movement. You can wait until it's released a bit after practicing this massage a few times and see if you can start to advance towards the active movement. Gives you somewhere to go, right? Really nice. And now we will start on either sides of the spine, right under that ridge again, but either sides of the spine. This time I'm going parallel to the spine with 4 fingers. And so my pinkies are sort of up against that ridge. And now I'm going to be sort of pulling outward, out to either sides. So I engage the tissue, I press in, and then I stretch the tissue out. I'm not pulling really hard or forcing it. I'm just sort of making that my intention to move outward laterally. And you're spreading the tissue in the back of the neck, which is so nice. It gets so short, so tight. And when you've done that, move down to the next segment. So if we did C1 here, now we're doing C2. Well, we're covering a couple of vertebrae because we're using all 4 fingers, and that's all good. So in, and then just sort of letting your fingers stretch the tissue out to the side. Let the tissue melt and take you more than you're pulling. It's more letting it happen. And when you make it all the way out, you go down to the next segment. Now, if you want, you can add some active movement. So you're on that segment. Again, you can slacken a little bit, get a good grip on it, And then begin to slowly flex your head forward, bringing your chin towards your chest. Now make sure you're not rounding forward or bringing your shoulders forward. You're sitting up nice and tall. The trajectory is out laterally with your hands, and you're adding a little bit of extra stretch by bringing the chin towards the chest. If it's too much, don't do the movement. So on either sides of the spine, go to that neck segment down, get a grip on the tissue, get a grip, and slowly, if you'd like to, bring that chin towards the chest. Breathing all the while. In through the nose, out through the nose, nice deep breaths. Keep those shoulders down and relaxed. If you need a break, drop them. Roll the shoulders, shake out the hands, and on to the next segment. Inhale, grip the tissue. Exhale, spreading it out. And you've gotten to the end of the spine when you feel a bump. There's that C7, that's your last cervical vertebrae. It's that bump right about there. You might be able to see it on me. It's pretty prominent. So we'll do that one more on either side. Nice and tall, shoulders relaxed, deep breath in, and spread the tissue. Just let the back of the neck open up. Feel long and free. Beautiful. Now we'll do the sides. So take a soft fist. By that I mean not clenched fist, I just mean sort of in a fist shape, but not clenched. The knuckles are going to go on the side, pretty much under the ear, but just a tiny bit behind so that you're not right on those transverse processes. You're not right on the spine that sticks out there. Just a little bit behind, under that bone that you feel right behind the ear. That's the mastoid process. So here I am with the knuckles right behind the sides of the spine and under that mastoid process. You can turn your head a little bit so you can get it. Press in as much as feels comfortable, not too much. And then just let gravity relax your arm down. So now we're doing a myofascial release down the side of the neck. And I'm not pulling or forcing, I'm just letting it go. I'm letting the tissue take me. I'm relaxing my hand, my shoulder, my arm, and I'm breathing. Deep breaths, and on the exhale, let it release even more. And it's gonna be slow, and that's great. It should be. You're letting little bits of change happen. You're giving new information to the brain, to the nervous system. We're recalibrating. We're saying, oh, this muscle can take some more length. Oh, this doesn't need to have so much tension. We can let some of that go. Good new information. And then you're going to take it all the way down, right to the base. And of course, you know me, we can add some active movement, so go ahead, back up, re-engage that same place right behind the spine, under that mastoid process, and begin to relax the arm down, apply some pressure there, and now you can, if you'd like to, start to bring the opposite ear towards the shoulder. It's going to stretch that tissue, so go really slow. Really easy. If it's too much, back off, as always. Listen to your body. And so now we're opening up that side of the neck. All the way down. Should feel really, really nice. And roll that shoulder, make sure that arm is relaxed. Shake it out. And let's do the other side. Soft fist. Here's the side of the neck. Go just a little bit behind and underneath that mastoid process, that bump. Soft knuckles, engage the tissue, And then just relax the shoulder, relax the arm. Try to sit up straight and relax the shoulders down. You want good posture, but relaxed posture, not stiff and tense. And breathe, just feel that. You'll probably find that the two sides feel somewhat different, one more tender than the other, especially if you got whiplash moving your head side to side or on a diagonal. You'll find that the two sides might be quite different, and that's okay. The one that needs more work, just give it some extra attention. Maybe spend a few more minutes on that side. Breathing out the tension with the exhale. And then we'll do it one more time once you get to the base. And we'll add that active movement if that's good for you, if that feels comfortable. So again, engage the tissue right under there. Sit up nice and tall, take a deep breath, and relax that shoulder, relax that arm, using the pressure that feels just right for you so that it's a nice release. And you can begin bringing the opposite ear towards the shoulder. So good. Now, of course, having somebody do this for you is much better because your arms, shoulders, hands can relax. But when we don't have quite enough time, or we've got a limited budget, or we need to have some of this work every day and that's not feasible by going to see a professional, this can really help. This can really make a difference to work on yourself a bit. So let's get those SCMs. Now these are hugely responsible for a lot of pain and whiplash. Usually these have a lot to do with it. So it's that muscle that goes from that big bump I was talking about, that mastoid process, and you can see it on me quite clearly. It goes all the way down. You see it kind of bulge out. And if you bring your ear towards your armpit on the same side, you'll probably feel yours as well. So go behind at the very top, and now we're not going to press in. This is the front of the neck. We're going to go super easy. There's no pressure. We're just taking the muscle between our fingers and doing a little bit of a gentle rolling sort of technique, okay? So you can go ahead and bring the ear towards the armpit so you can get a good grip. Okay, gentle, but a solid grip. And then you can bring your head back and then just do those little circles I mentioned, and could be very, very tender. So go easy. This could be a very tender muscle. And I'm just going to work my way down the muscle towards the sternum and the clavicle, getting lighter as you get to the front of the neck. Go really easy there. And just nice little circles. Should feel good too. If it's a tiny bit painful, make sure it's a good pain. Deep breath. And moving down to the next segment. If there's a part that needs more love, give it more love. Yeah, these need so much work. These are largely responsible for our forward head positions, you know, our computer posture where we kind of slump and the head goes forward. These really do that a lot, and they can also take over when we're breathing. If we're having sort of an anxious type of breathing where it's very, very shallow up here, these can get really activated in trying to draw the breath in, and they're not supposed to do that. That's overworking these poor little muscles. It's just not their job. So that can just make things a lot worse. And obviously, shallow breathing is, you know, can make plenty of problems for us, not getting enough oxygen and nutrients everywhere they need to go, and for anxiety levels, physiologically, emotionally. So we always want to work on that breath, getting it nice and deep, being aware of our exhales, making sure we get all the air out before we take a new breath. So go ahead and grab that muscle again at the very top. And this time, if you like, just sort of let gravity take your hand down the muscle very gently. Remember, you're not pushing in. I'm just holding it gently. See? And you can begin to give it a little active movement if that's not too intense. If that feels okay for you, start to just rotate side to side really, really, really slowly. You'll be stretching the muscle, contracting the muscle. When you go to the same side, it stretches. When you go to the opposite side, it contracts. Really lighten up as you get to the front of your neck. You want to really just be really easy there. I don't even do this last part on myself. I just kind of go till there, just to be really safe and gentle with the front of the neck. So let's go ahead and find the other side. So here's your mastoid process. Here's the muscle. You can bring your ear towards your armpit to see it pop out. Yeah. Take that muscle in your fingers. It's going to be your little circle fingers. And relax your head. Sit up nice and tall. Relax the shoulders. And just play around with the muscle. Move it around a little bit. Give it a gentle squeeze between the fingers. See where you might have some points that need some more work. You could stay there a little longer. You can just hold. You can do a little bit of the active movement. Explore. Find out what works for you. You're going to be your own best massage therapist because you'll know your body so well as you practice these techniques. And you'll know exactly what works for you. And you know that if you only have 30 seconds and you have to release a muscle, you can just do that one technique that works best for you. And have the power to help yourself. That's what this is all about. It's empowering. And so coming on down. And then we can go back up and add that active movement. So again, re-engage the muscle. There we go. Up nice and tall, shoulders relaxed, deep breath. Just let the arm hang. Let it, gravity, bring your hand down the muscle towards the clavicle and the sternum, and you can slowly, remember slow, begin to rotate your head side to side. If it's too much, don't do it. Nice and easy. Keep that breath flowing. Lightening up as you get to the front of the neck, and then you can come off it completely. And this wouldn't be complete without addressing the upper traps and levator scapula. So you can take a whole fist and squeeze. Why don't we do that first? Bring that shoulder up, give it a nice squeeze, and now hold that squeeze as you relax the shoulder down. And just breathe. That's so nice. So good. You can take your fingertips and just start exploring. This is very similar to what we were doing with the SCM, right? That sort of circular motion. Just start exploring all along the upper trapezius. It goes into the neck over here. You can bring it out towards the shoulder. Find some good spots. Find a good spot. You can just hold it, which I am going to do, and just breathe. Oh, this one refers right up to my left temple. You'll probably find that too with this muscle. It tends to refer. So it's really crazy when you put pressure on one area and feel pain or some sort of symptom in another area. Just from that, it's pretty wild. And if you want, you can add a little bit of active movement to help it release if that feels good. So bringing the opposite ear towards the opposite shoulder. Really slow. And this is a reminder for me too, make sure that opposite shoulder is relaxed. We're not creeping it up. We don't want it up there. Nice and easy. Ooh, I just got a pop. Nice. Little body self-adjusting there. And then move up and down. I think this muscle needs work on everybody. Well, this whole region, all of us today. When that feels good, just roll it out, let it dangle. And then let's do the other side. Let's start with that whole hand grab. Bring the shoulder up so you can really get a good squeeze. And then relax it down, relax that opposite shoulder as well. And just enjoy that for a moment. And when you're ready, you can start that more fingertip exploration. And both sides, back and front, up to the neck, out to the shoulder, everywhere. Just cover the whole thing. You can find a good point. You can hang out, breathe. Shoulders relaxed, including that working shoulder. And if you'd like, you can add very slowly a little active movement. That's really good. Really helps the side open up. And find another place. Hold it or add that side flexion to the opposite shoulder. And some nice breaths. And just give it a nice massage to finish. Roll those shoulders back. Sit up nice and tall. Make sure your chin is in, not extended, not looking down, but back towards the spine. Feel the arms dangle at your sides, nice and relaxed. Feel the neck long. Feel space between the vertebrae and the discs. Nice, good space so the discs can hydrate and you have some height. Feel a string at the top of your head attached to the sky or the ceiling, and it's pulling you up and holding you up. Feel your bottom grounded wherever you're sitting on the chair. Feel your feet grounded on the floor, and take a nice deep breath right into the belly. Long exhale out. And I hope that this begins to alleviate those symptoms. Practice it, start out like 2 or 3 times a week, see how that feels. And then if it's feeling good, you can, increase the amount of time, or you can take a couple techniques and stick them in throughout the day, especially if you're, sitting at a computer. These can be really, really nice for your neck. If you liked it, if it helped, like the video, subscribe, click the notifications bell. I've got a lot more and I don't want you to miss out. And comment below, tell me your story, let me know how this worked for you. I'll see you soon.